What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Fans Hobby Meg-Tyranno, their version of a Masterpiece scaled Armada Megatron. So this guy's absolutely massive. I got this from the Chosen Prime along with my MDLX Megatron. So I got two Megatrons in one day. But this is a very impressive, big vehicle mode. And I know it's been out for about a year, so I'm looking at it a little bit late, but it's still a very impressive piece. Let's take a look at all the details. You got some silver paint accents kind of all throughout, different spots over here on the top. Yellow paint over here, some purple paint there, orange paint here, orange, and then some navy blue here on the sides. Purple paint over here. Got some tampos in a couple spots. The treads are actually movable treads. They roll very nicely, and then there's silver paint on there. Shockingly, this tank actually works with those rolling treads. Usually it doesn't. At least I find most Masterpiece figures don't work with rolling treads. This one does. Silver and navy there. You got silver paint here. Overall, really nice looking tank mode. Coming to the back here, you do have some doors here, and that will reveal Minicon. And I just wanted to point out in here, the hands actually come mistransformed, so you want them opened up like this, not into a fist. You know, the tendency is to put them into a fist, but if you have them into a fist, you have a hard time getting the Minicons in here. When you have them open like this, you can actually get two Minicons to fit in here, and then you can close up this door with them inside. Otherwise, you'll have trouble getting it all the way in there. I mean, you can also just put it to the side like this if you want. But let's take him out and take a look. So here is their version of Leader 1. He's got some blue paint there for the front. Neat little truck or whatever. He does roll. He's got little cannons here. And he can do a couple of things as well in the vehicle mode. So let's close this up. So first off, you've got little ports here. There's 4 of them all the way around, so you can plug in a bunch of these guys. But there's a little port right there. You can take him and plug him in right here. Oops. And now he can ride along like this, which I think is pretty cool. We have one more over here, which is a little battle station. So we can take this, open this up, and flip out these. Then you can take this piece here and slide out these. There's a little piece to grab here if you can't grab those, but this is going to plug in right here. There's 2 little tabs. And now you've got a little gun station. Also have a battle station here on the top. So if you press this little button right here, that will release this cannon and also this little station. And if you lift up on this little handle right here, you have a little place for a Minicon. So now we can take this guy and we're going to transform him here. So fold down the legs, fold these into the back of the legs, bring these forward. And you don't have to do this part, but I just think it looks better if you bring the arms and separate it from these just a little bit. Fold down this top panel, rotate the head around, and there you have their Minicon, Leader 1. And he surprisingly has a good amount of articulation before we get him into his battle stations. The head is on a ball joint, so it goes forward and backward, rotates all the way around, and you get a little bit of side to side. The shoulders rotate all the way around, and you can rotate the arms separately. There is a hinge at the elbow, so you can get the elbow bent. You do have an ab crunch, which typically for these mini robots, you don't have ab crunches. So that was kind of a surprise to me. Legs will go up to there, back to there, out to the side, and you have a 90-degree bend at the knee and nothing at the feet. But he does stand on his own, although I don't have a flat surface here. He works pretty well. So you can take him and, you know, kind of put his arms up or whatever, and he can be at this battle station, manning that. Or, if you prefer, you can come to this side and kind of get the legs down, and you can seat him in here. You kind of have to configure the arms such a way that he can get in here, but that's pretty cool. Now you can do this battle station, and this actually has interactivity. So these missiles here are just painted, but these actually fire. This has a little button right here on the back. So if you press that button, there's 2 missiles in here. They fire really far, so it's easy to lose them, but luckily they've given you 4. So there's 2 additional ones here. I don't think they install anywhere, but there's 4. That one just went flying. I'll have to go find it, but that's a really cool little play feature. And Fans Hobby really goes above and beyond, try to put in all these play features. There's a few other features here, so let's just leave him in there. First of all, you can rotate the turret. This can go up and down, but I find that this panel pops off very easily. It's just on a friction hinge, but rotate that up to let the angle all the way up to there, down to there, basically down to the ground, and it can rotate all the way around. If you want it to go further, you can lift it up, and then it can rotate all the way around fully. So that really works well. You also have a light up feature here. I do have the batteries in there. So the way it works, let's take this out. There's a little button right here. I've already put the batteries inside, and basically this is a screw hole cover, which I thought was kind of neat. So you take out the screw hole cover, you'll see there's a screw. You can unscrew that screw, and then you can install the batteries. I'm not going to do it, but this is the switch. So if you turn the crank, you can get this to kind of oscillate in and out, and it'll light up. So if you want to leave it lit, you can leave this rotated forward and it'll light up. If you want to rotate it back, then it'll turn off. So another cool little feature. And we'll get this guy out here. You're going to fold that down just to show you how to do it. Fold down the handle first, fold this, and then fold this, and that'll click it and lock it into place. You also have a feature here where you can open up this ramp. You know, I never saw this show, so I'm not really sure. I guess the ramp doesn't fold down to the ground. But you can have a little mini-con here. You can also open up this panel here, and inside here, you'll find a little armature. You can fold this out. We can plug this into here. And now this armature can grab or work on mini-cons or whatever you want it to do. Has a rotation joint here, has an opening, closing claw, bending joint here and here. So you get some nice articulation, and you can rotate around. We also get a feature here. Each corner has a feature, which is really cool and reminiscent of the original show. You can fold this out. It's got kind of like a little capture thing. So if you put a mini-con here, you can like pretend like you captured it. I just think neat little effect there. I showed you the little rear compartment there. And we have one more. You can open up this. And there's a little ramp here. And you'll see there's a little button here. And that's actually like a little launching feature. So if we put him back into vehicle mode here. And now we can put this guy here, or any mini-con really, and press the button. And he'll fire off with this little ramp, almost like the G1 Optimus, which I just thought it was really cool. They put in so many play features here. And for a quick size comparison, since I don't have any Armada stuff here, there it is next to MP-10 Optimus Prime. He's a massive tank, taller, wider, longer, every dimension, just huge. So I think if you're an Armada fan, you'll be happy that he kind of towers over Optimus, because I think he was bigger in the show as well. All right, now let's get Meg-Tyranno transformed into his robot mode. And it's an interesting transformation. There's quite a few cool little tricks that they pulled off here. So let's start on the front here. We'll get this. You can actually rotate this back and then just kind of shift it back so it's out of the way, because we're going to access all of these panels here. So you can come to here, there's a little panel here. You bring these forward and then have them sit right there. We can open up this panel right here and basically just pull this away so these detach. You can flip this over here, and that ear fell out. I'll just grab that later. You're going to fold this down, and then on the inside here you're going to fold that panel in. And we're going to take this entire thing, it's on a double hinge, so we're going to accordion this up. That allows us to take this and rotate this panel down. And you want to clear the head, so just make sure you have it angled as far up as you need it to be to get this down, and then get this folded over. So it should look like that. Alright, so same on this side. Alright, now that we have both of these front treads kind of transformed and ready, you can kind of leave them like that. We're going to come to the back here, take care of some of that. You can shift this forward now just to give yourself a little room, and we'll work on all of this. So we're going to lift up on this panel right here. You can open up this little panel and fold that all the way back. Fold down this toe. And rotate this around 180 degrees. Bring this down. And that's going to make your foot. Pretty cool. That's going to allow you to take this. We can separate these two legs from each other. And open up these panels here. And open these up a little bit. And now that we have that foot transform, we're going to take this panel, fold this inwards, fold this down, and that's the front of the leg. Come to this side here, and actually accidentally folded it, but bring this in, and that's going to fold in there. There's a little bit of detail here, which you don't even really see. I guess it's in there in the vehicle mode, but that's pretty cool. They didn't need to do that. It doesn't show anywhere, so kind of neat. Fold that up, fold that up. And that's basically one leg. So go ahead and do the same thing on this side. All right, now that we have both legs done, we work on the upper body here. So turn around, and you can see the arms. They're just plugged in right here, so you can unplug those. We're going to take these, we're going to slide the shoulder pad out of the way, and then you're going to slide these armatures out. You're going to swing them to the front. They actually tab in right here. So give it a firm click on the front. And then same on this side. And then you can push the shoulder pads back in. And you can see how I had the hands configured. So just rotate the hand down. You can close up the fist. And then same on this side. We can close up the fist. Right. Now I can take this panel here. This can come down and sit right here. And we do need to get all of this chest configured. So fold down these hip skirts like that. And you want to rotate this center section. So you're going to take this turret, and this is going to pull outwards on this joint. And you're going to rotate it down so that it can clear. Bring the arms up. And then we're going to rotate so it ends up on his back. So easiest way is rotate the top part and then rotate the lower part. So it ends up with this on the front. These little tabs on the side, you can just kind of fold them down onto the side of that chest panel. Bring the arms back down, straighten up the arms. So you have the elbows facing forward. Come to the back here. This is going to swing back around. There's a little tab right here. It's going to fit into a groove on his backpack here. So bring this up and then get this angled. And that's going to tab back in like that. And to get him into his sort of classic look, we're going to lift up this arm, rotate this forward, and then bring that back down. One last finishing touch here, you can rotate these shoulder pads back on the double hinge just to get them out of the way. Alright, and there is Meg-Tyranno, his robot mode. It's really, really good looking, very impressive, and imposing. Lots of paint detail on this one. Fans Hobby typically does accents and tampos, and this is no exception. This is pretty much the same, but there's a lot of tampos and accents, so it really looks good. Lots of silver detail, orange accents on various places. The head is, let's get a little closer as you can see, purple paint, metallic red eyes, some black detail in there, silver, orange for the ears, orange up here. Lots of nice accents and details. Here's the back. That looks really nice. All in all, very, very nicely detailed robot mode. You can still do the gimmick here, so if you want to turn this, you can have the light up feature, and you leave it down, you can leave it on, and it still does rotate in and out. You do get flip out daggers here on the arm, which are pretty cool. And they're painted in the same silver, which is very nice. And you can also change the look, so if you prefer, you know, kind of the slung look on the back, you can rotate this back down, and you can have that look. I think most people probably prefer it pointed forward, but that's an option. You can also flip it back around if you like to, so you can lift this back out. If you really want to, you can have this look. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan, but it's nice that you can do it. And by the way, it will stay on in this mode, just because of the way, yeah, I think it'll stay on in this mode because of the way it's configured. But yeah, this is definitely not my favorite, but you can do it because the toy could do it. And as far as the Minicon here, you can have him in robot mode, or you can actually still open up these ports and then have him plugged in on his leg as like an extra cannon. But the better use of this guy, of course, is his gun mode. So you're going to unpeg these, rotate these down, just make the arms straight. These will actually repeg in onto the side of these two guns. You're going to fold down this handle right here. And they did it in the style with the slot and the groove, so I just like the way they do that because it makes it so the weapon stays very securely and it's easy to put in. But there you go, he's got the Minicon as his target master, which I think is a pretty cool feature. You know, they really packed in a lot. All right, let's go over some of his articulation. It's got quite a bit here. The head is on a double hinge, I guess a ball peg, but then there's a hinge in the neck, so you can get it back to there. But more importantly, you can get it down if you shift it forward. It doesn't get as down as I would hope, but pretty good. Obviously, you can rotate around. While we're here on the head, we can unplug these ears, and you have a slightly different ear here if you prefer this look, which I think people do because it's more traditional. It also stays better because of the shape. So I prefer these because I think they just stay a lot better. A little bit longer. Yeah, and just a different shape overall. But I think they do look good, so I'll leave those on there. You also have an alternate face, which I showed in the unboxing. So this is kind of the standard, just straight face. On him, you'll see he's got the yelling face. I'm not going to swap it out because it's actually a pain. There's a button on the head. He has light up eyes. It lights up very nicely, but I couldn't get the right batteries, so I couldn't get it lit up. But it is a little bit of a pain. You got to take two screws out, and it kind of just falls apart. And then you can swap out the face, and you can put the batteries in for the light up feature. I'm not going to do that today just because I don't have the right batteries anyway. But I do like the face, the stock face that's on there, that yelling, angry face. Continuing down, you have a rotation here out to the side. Shoulder can rotate around on this joint. Nice ratchets there. Rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow is that orange elbow joint, which I just think looks kind of cool. Normally I would say that kind of stuff looks dumb, but on this particular character it works. It looks really good. I showed you the dead dagger on the arm. You have a rotation at the wrist. You have individually articulated fingers. They're really done well on one, I think 2 pins, and then the thumb is on a ball joint, and I think that's it. And then you have this, wrist piece, which is really for transformation, but it works out with an extra joint there for the hand. And for the waist, you get a rotation here. I just moved the arms and cannon out of the way to show you. You also get ab crunch, forward and backwards, and you get side to side. So a lot of movement there at the waist. There is a handle right here. So you fold this handle down, it says tabbed in right there. You can get this hand holding it, which I think is a very cool little feature, and you can kind of angle it however you like, but you can under grip it or you can over grip it, whatever you prefer. That's pretty neat. For the legs, you can get the hip skirts out of the way. The legs on a ratchet goes up to there, back to there, out to the side, rotation at the thigh, 90-degree bend of the knee with a cover down a knee joint, which is cool. Nice details here on the leg as well. For the foot, you have a rotation, ankle tilt forward, backward, side to side, and then a heel. I guess you could count that as a toe tilt, but plenty of movement there on the feet as well. And for size comparison, since I don't have the Armada Optimus, there it is next to the Magic Square version of the G1 Optimus. And he's a big bot. I mean, his shoulders really make up a lot of his height, but even the head comes up higher than Optimus, so he's a big dude, very imposing, and looks nice in a masterpiece scale. So final recommendations on the Fans Hobby Meg-Tyranno. I really like this thing. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. I'm going to give it a strong recommendation, and I think they really nail this guy. It is faithful to the cartoon, but they've also worked in all of the toy gimmicks, and Fans Hobby has kind of a magic to them where they're able to do kind of this, close enough to the cartoon, to represent the character, but still give you all of the toy look as well, and the toy features, and that's kind of a magic. I do like the light up cannon here. That's pretty cool. The Minicon really does a lot. It's interactive in both modes. It works as a gun, it works as a vehicle, it works out as a robot. It can interact with the base mode. That all works. The base mode, for once, the base mode is actually pretty darn cool. It does a lot. Normally I hate base modes, especially if they took sacrifices to do the base mode. If it causes a sacrifice in robot mode or in vehicle mode, I'm all against it. But here I'm all for it because it really works on this guy. I like the little accessories and features and the pop-out gimmicks that we get in the base mode. Those are really cool. And the options on the ears are nice, although my personal preference, especially because these like to pop out, is to put those on there and leave them because they fit a lot better and they stay on, they look better. So yeah, definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of Armada, you're going to love this guy. Or if you're just a fan of Megatron, you collect Megatrons, this is a really, really cool Megatron to have. Obviously, the best Armada Megatron I've ever handled. Now, we just looked at the Legacy Armada Megatron, and this blows that out of the water. So, not even comparison. It is also a different price point, right? A lot more money. I think $100 more. So, to be fair, it's going to cost you more, but still, well worth it. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.